So did you all revise the main points? Very good. Keep the books, notebooks, etc. closed. Brief revision we'll do of yesterday, then take up with the new points today. Come in. Come in. Okay. So yesterday we discussed with the definitions of statistics, then 4 terms: population, sample, data, and within data, quantitative and qualitative. So, Adifa, right? Statistics definition, objective, correct. So now, anyone else who can define statistics perfectly? Riya?
Statistics is a collection, organization and analysis of the data with the predetermined objective.
Correct. Statistics means collection, organization and analysis of data collected with predetermined objectives. Okay, then Aaron, what is the term population?
The number of units which are kept under inquiry and
Correct. So now, the total number of units covered under the field of inquiry is known as population. Then Hate, what is sample?
Some units of population selected from the population representing the population is known as sample.
Few units selected from the population representing the population is known as sample. Then, what is your name? Anushri. Tanushri. Okay. Tanushri, what is data?
Data is the information required for the inquiry of the
Population or sample. Correct. Information or results based on characteristics. You need to use that word characteristics. Okay. Information or results based on some characteristics of sample or population is called data. And Yash, what is quantitative data?
So quantitative data is a data which we cannot define in numbers.
Quantitative, we cannot define in numbers.
We can define in numbers. It's known as quantitative.
Correct. Quantitative data means the data which can be expressed in numbers. And Janvi, what is qualitative data?
quantitative data which cannot be expressed in numbers, but it can be expressed in
Correct. Qualitative data is the one which cannot be expressed in numbers but is expressed by attributes. Okay, attributes like yesterday we have seen dance, hobbies, interest, taste, they are called as attributes. You cannot express it in numbers. Okay, those things cannot be expressed in numbers. Even school was an attribute. It cannot be expressed in numbers but it can be expressed by the name. So all these are attributes. Okay. Now, yesterday we discussed in brief, but I did not make you write. So raise your hand. What is primary data? I discussed it at the end of the period, but I did not make you write. I said there is one more classification of data. Did I discuss it or not? Primary and secondary. So what is primary data? What is your name?
Arushi.
Arushi and Tanushi. Arushi, yes.
First means information collected for the first time.
Very good, correct. If any information or data is obtained for the first time for your own purpose, then it is called as primary data. Raise your hand. Which example I gave you of primary data yesterday? Raise your hand. What is your name? Prachi Desai. Prachi Desai, sorry. Yes.
Population of a country.
Correct. The government collects the population census survey of the country once in every 10 years. So that is primary data because it is collected by the government for the first time. And what is your name? Last bench. Kushi. What is secondary data?
The data which is used second time from some information.
Okay, the data which is used from the primary data. Means primary data is collected from the first time. And if the same data is used by other institution or agency for its purpose, then it is called as secondary data. So it's a second hand information which you are going to use. And Fennel, example of secondary data.
So, exam in exams.
Don't give that example in exams that you prepare on your own and copy it. That is just a comparison I gave it. But one example of secondary data also I gave yesterday. What is your name along with Atif? Zeba.
Example of Google.
Google, whatever you obtain on Google is a secondary data because it's already collected for the first time by someone else and you are using it for the second time. Even that population survey I told you, government collects it for the first time, then education department uses in your books. So for education department and for all the students that is secondary data. Okay. Now primary data, how to collect it, we are going to understand it today. Which are the various methods of collecting primary data. Okay, so first give the heading in your notebooks. Don't give this heading, first give the heading in your notebook. Classification of data. In your notebooks give the heading classification of data. Did you get the heading? So write down the data is classified in two types. The data is classified in two types. Below that, one, primary data and two, secondary data. Did you write that? Now below that write down first primary data. The data collected by any institution or agency for the first time is called primary data. Any confusion in that? And secondary data. The data collected by, I repeat, the data collected by some other institution or agency but used by other institution or agency. Okay, so someone else collects it and someone else uses it. Used by some other institution or agency is called secondary data for the user, institution or agency. Understood this? It is secondary data for whom? For whom is it secondary data? For the user, institution. The one who is collecting it, for him it is primary data only, but someone else is using it. So for the person who is using it without collecting on his own, for that user, institution or agency it is secondary data. Any doubts with that? All are clear with it? What we are going to study is today methods of collecting primary data. Okay, methods of collecting primary data. Now, put your pens down. What are the methods of collecting primary data? I'll discuss later on. First, I'll physically show you how can you collect the data. Then I'll describe which are the methods for the. So, for that I'll require 4 people on the stage. Fennel, you come on the stage. Last second bench, what is your name? Karan. Please come on the stage. And 2 girls from here, so. What is your name? Ayushi, come on the stage. And what is your name? Namrata, come on the stage. Now, I'll ask you few questions and you have to answer that. Okay? Few questions I'll ask you and you have to answer. Just 1 minute. I need the pen. Okay. Both of you stand there only. So, suppose my objective is to know the taste of the youngsters, teenagers. Now I am no more in that category. So I want to know how does it differ from our taste when we were in 11th and 12th. So my objective of collecting the data is I want to know what are the present teenagers like, what they like and what they dislike. That is what I want to know. Okay. So I asked few questions to them. First of all, once again your names. What is your name? Namrata. Ayushi. So if you remember, I said yesterday that as and when we do with the topic, introduction of others will be automatically taken into that. Okay. And Karan. Johot? Karan? Kukani. Okay. And Fennel. Now my first question to all of you, okay, I'll ask you one by one, is all of you have smartphones? All the 4 of you have smartphones? Okay. So when did you get your... Is everyone able to see what is written? Yes. Or shall I increase the font size? Able to see everyone, last benches? When did you get your first smartphone? Now, brother. 10th standard, that means 2016. 2015. 2009. 9th standard. Okay. 2016, last year only. Okay. Which smartphone do you use? ASUS. Okay, Asus. iPhone. 4, 5, 6, 7.
No, 5.
Shall I 6? Karan? Samsung. Galaxy. J7. Oh. Is that the correct spelling, no? Okay. Third, which apps do you use the most often? Yes. WhatsApp. What else? Snapchat. I was expecting that. Anything else? Same too. WhatsApp WhatsApp and Instagram, no Snapchat. Good, I also don't use it. WhatsApp and Instagram. I don't use Instagram also. Same too. Okay, boys are similar, girls are similar. That's it. Only 2 apps you have purchased phone for. No one said e-books. No one said anything related to academics. WhatsApp, Snapchat and Facebook has become outdated. Is it? Do you use Facebook or not? You use it. You don't use it. You also don't use it. You also don't use it. Very outdated we are now. So these are the, I have to download Snapchat and Instagram now, knowing the present teenagers' choice. Fourth, further, which is your favorite recent movie? Sachin. Okay. It was a nice movie. Bahubali 2. Oh. Sachin. Hindi medium. Okay. Both are my favorites. All the 3 are my favorites. Then, which food do you like? Sweets. But sweets were chocolate, penda, malai, something like that. Ras malai, huh? Chocolates, okay. Chinese food. Anything specific in that? Manchurians. Scissors? Feeling hungry? Karan? Frankie and pizza. No one is saying dal roti. What is this? Yes? Chinese rice. Chinese rice. Only rice? But you don't look like eating a lot of rice. Okay. I think these many questions as okay, one more question. Last one. What is the most slang? You understand slang? Slang language you use on the phones? Yes becomes yas. Y-A-A-A-S. Slang language what you use on the phones these days. Half of the times when I get the messages of students, I have to refer to the Google. What does this mean? Then I reply to them. So, do you use that kind of language on WhatsApp? So, which are the most often words you use? Yup. Anything else? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why 8? No slang. You write in full. Oh my god. Do you use this or not? OMG. Quite often you use it, right? Oh my god. So, first time I got this OMG, I thought he is talking about movie. What is the person talking about? Then I referred to and I found it's oh my god. So these are certain questions which I have asked to each and every one of you. Okay, you may take your seats. Thank you for the stage. So all of you have seen how did I collect, this is the primary data I am collecting. Am I collecting it for the first time or not? Yes. I am collecting it for the first time. So this is one of the methods of collecting primary data. Now any 2 good and notorious friends in the class? From the boys I need. Any 2 good and notorious friends I need? Who always keep on backstabbing each other. Such friends I need. Aaron? Yes. And who is your good friend? Okay, Aaron and Love. Love is perfect, please. Aaron and Love, please come on the stage. Please come on the stage. Now, Aaron, you stand this side, and you stand that side. Now, just assume that I am father of Jacqueline Fernandez. Just assume it, okay? Even I would like to be her father, but just assume we are similar age only. And Aaron is friend of Love. And Love is looking for a bride. Love is looking for a bride. And I am looking for groom of my daughter. So I want to know the proof. She is blushing already. So I am looking for bride of my daughter Jacqueline Fernandez, and I have got good profile of Love. I have got to know that he is a chartered accountant. I have got to know that he is company secretary also. He is earning some 2.5 lakhs rupees per annum. So all the basic statistics which I have collected about Love are proper for my daughter. Now normally you'll find that before the marriage, especially if it's of a daughter, you try to inquire through other sources also. Right? So you try to inquire from the relatives, friends, neighbors of that particular person, about that person also, their family background also, so that you want to know your daughter will remain happy and safe over there or not. Grooms, fathers and parents never try to inquire. They are sure that the daughters would be always unhappy with their child only. So generally this inquiry is done by daughter's parents. Okay. So I also tried to inquire about Love, but I inquired from his friend in need and friend indeed Aaron. So I asked him few questions. Okay, suppose he is acquainted to me also, and I assume that he won't tell me anything lies. So I tried to inquire from him, how is the character of Love?
Good enough.
Good enough. Good or good enough?
Good.
Yes, good. Good and good enough both. Okay. Does he smoke? He doesn't smoke. Does he drink? Reaction shows that I have to now think twice before taking up the proposal, so may or may not be, right? Okay, may or may not be. Have you seen that Sholay movie, anyone of you? Very old movie, Amitabh Bachchan. There was that Amitabh Bachchan and that Mossy's scene. Try to find it in YouTube today. Type Amitabh Bachchan and Mossy scene in Sholay. You'll find a perfect review given by his friend Amitabh Bachchan about the son. I'll give you some glimpse of it. So like the Mossy, whose daughter was Hema Malini, she was trying to inquire from Amitabh Bachchan, that is Jay, about Viru, that is Dharmendra. So she asked him, what does the son do? What does the particular Dharmendra do for earning? So he said, once he gets married, he'll start earning also. Further, he was asked that he has no money earnings right now. He says, it depends. If at night he wins, then he'll bring something. If he loses, then gone. So that was the kind of review. When you do watch that scene, it was particularly very interesting. Further, does he own a car? Does he own a car? He doesn't own a car. Then how do you earn 2 lakhs rupees per annum? No car. Does he have a girlfriend? This you tell me a fact today. Does he have or not? That you also don't know. Is it doubtful? He may be having it. You're doubtful, he might be having it. Very good friend of yours. Both of you can take your seat. So you can see 2 types of questions I asked. One, I called 4 people and I directly asked questions related to the 4 people, directly to them only. Means I asked Namrata the question related to Namrata. I asked question to Ayushi related to Ayushi. I asked question to Karan related to Karan. And I asked question to Fennel related to Fennel. That is called the method of direct inquiry. What do you call that method as? Direct inquiry means the person who is collecting the information is called enumerator or investigator. Who is enumerator or investigator? Who is enumerator or investigator? The person who is collecting the information. From whom I am collecting the information, they are called respondent. So presently in the class, who is the enumerator? I am the enumerator. Who are the respondents right now? All the students in the class are the respondents. Okay? So when enumerator or investigator collects the data or information directly from the respondents, it is called the method of direct inquiry. Got it, everyone? One second. What is direct inquiry? When enumerator or investigator collects the data directly from the respondents, it is called direct inquiry. Please repeat it one more time. When enumerator or investigator collects the data directly from the respondent, it is called direct inquiry. Okay? And some situations are such where you cannot directly ask the respondent, do you smoke or not, do you drink or not, do you have affair or not. So when you collect the information for a respondent through some other sources, it is called indirect inquiry. So the second example which I took up here, where I collected the information about whom? Law. But from Aaron. Then that was a case of indirect inquiry. So here, enumerator or investigator collects the data from respondent directly. And what happens here? Enumerator or investigator collects the data about the respondent from some other sources. Here directly from the respondents and here from some other sources. Few more examples I'll give you when indirect inquiry is used. Suppose I want to know about 50 students of a particular class and I don't have time. I want to get the information in one day only. I have some objective to be fulfilled immediately tomorrow. So I don't have time that this may be postponed or deferred for few days. If I start collecting from all 50 students, it will require much time, 2-3 days to collect the information, and I have limited time with me. What can I do? Same school, same class, how can I get the information about all 50 students? Exactly, Arushi. Very good, Arushi. I can directly contact the class teacher. Class teacher shall provide me the information of all the 50 students. What is that? That is again? Some cases again, direct inquiry won't serve the purpose. Okay, for example, suppose, what is your name? Uday. And what is your name? Akash. Assume that Akash has done a murder. He is a criminal. He has killed Yash Brahmat. He has done murder. And the ghost of Yash is sitting right now. Now, can I directly ask him, have you done the murder? How do the police people, CBI, CID, they do the investigation? How do they do it? Indirectly. So I may go to Uday and ask, at this time where was Akash? And at this time where were you? So you generally ask the questions to the neighbors, friends, etc. In cases of commissions, income tax raids also, CBI, CID, investigations, such cases we never resort to Direct inquiry, we always resort to indirect inquiry. Did everyone of you understand this? One more method is there, which is called questionnaire. What is the last method? What is a questionnaire? First we'll understand it. Can you see a list of 6 questions over here? If I start the questions with name, age, address, gender, and then the main questions, and I give a title. What is the purpose of this inquiry I collected for? To know the taste of youngsters. This is called questionnaire. First of all, what is questionnaire? A list of questions. Repeat.
A list of questions
Arranged in a logical order.
arranged in a logical order.
You can see they are all in the logical order. First I have asked name, then I asked age, then I asked address, then I asked gender, and then in questions also they are going in proper order. I did not directly ask you which apps you use on your phone often. First I have asked you the questions, which smartphone do you use and which year did you purchase. Then the question came, which apps do you use. Are they following a proper logical order or not? So repeat once again. When? List of questions arranged in a logical order with space for giving the answers. Is prepared. The list of questions is called questionnaire. Did you understand? So what is a questionnaire? You make a list of questions which are arranged in and there is space for giving the answers. Okay? What I did was direct inquiry. If the same questionnaire I give it to you, you fill it up on your own and give it to me. Or maybe if you are uneducated, then I ask you the question and write it on my own, the answers on the questionnaire. Then that is called as questionnaire. 2 ways the information can be collected through questionnaire. One is by post and second is by enumerator. Who is enumerator? Who is collecting the information. What we do in post is, questionnaire is posted by mail to thousands and lakhs of people. And we give them some incentive. That first 500 entries will get consolation prizes. We give such incentives so that they submit the questionnaire fast to us. In that post, we send the questionnaire along with an envelope because no one will spend their money on envelope and stamps and send the questionnaire back to you. So you send a blank envelope with stamp in which they have to put the questionnaire and send it back, and their expenses won't be involved. Okay, so this method of collecting the information is by post. Second is we have 10-15 enumerators. They divide the area. East, west, north, south. One enumerator goes to one area and all the residents of that area, 100, 200, 500, whatever they are, he personally asks them the question and fill it up in the questionnaire on his own. Then that method of collecting the information is called questionnaire by enumerator. So in one method you send the questionnaire by post. And in second method, questionnaire is carried by enumerator. Physically he visits the places, collects the information, and enumerator himself fills up the questionnaire. Is everyone of you clear with it? So 3 main methods of collecting primary data. What are the 3 main methods? Direct inquiry, indirect inquiry, questionnaire. Within questionnaire, questionnaire by post, questionnaire by enumerator. Raise your hand who is not clear with this topic. Any doubts on that? Shall I ask you questions based on it? All are clear with it? Ask whom? It's written on the board. Yes. When enumerator or investigator directly collects the information from the respondents, the method is called direct inquiry. Okay. Ishta, indirect inquiry.
So the inquiry which is asked by the enumerator from another person and not by the respondent.
So when investigator or enumerator collects the information about the respondent from other sources, it is called indirect. What is your name? Partha. What is questionnaire? Meaning of questionnaire? Logical order with the space provided for the answers. And that is called questionnaire. Did you understand this? Sit down. Is everyone familiar with it? What can we do in questionnaire? Either you can send it back or you can send enumerators along with the questionnaire and collect it personally from the people. Any doubts on that?
No, sir.
Do you all have the textbooks? First write down this chart in the notebook. Okay, this diagram write down in the notebook. Did you write it down? Okay. So below direct inquiry, what happens here right now? Enumerator. Anyone still writing this? Raise your hand. Okay, complete it first.
Are online forms included in questionnaire by post?
Yes, these days by post was an old method. These days you send questionnaire by email also. You send the questionnaire on WhatsApp also. So these methods would come under the category of questionnaire by post. Okay. All the modern electronic mediums which you use as a substitute of post would come in the category of questionnaire by post. Any other confusions or doubts? Feel free to ask. Anyone still writing this? Raise your hand. Shall I proceed further? So below direct inquiry right now, enumerator collects the data. What do you mean by data? Information or results based on some characteristics. So enumerator collects the data directly from the respondent. Any confusion? Below indirect inquiry, enumerator collects the data about respondent. Further? Yes, through some other sources. Any confusion in this? Questionnaire. First, definition of questionnaire. Below this, write down first definition of questionnaire. Because these are automatically understandable. Here you send that by post. And here the enumerator carries the questionnaire, asks the question, fills up on his own. So what we need to understand is just the meaning of questionnaire. So write down definition of questionnaire. The list of questions arranged in logical order with the space provided for answers is called questionnaire. Any confusion in this? When you send it by post, email, WhatsApp or any other electronic medium, it is called questionnaire by post. And when you send it through an enumerator, that is the person visits the places, asks the question, fills up the questionnaire on his own. then it is called questionnaire by. Any confusion in that? Take out your textbooks. Whatever we have done since yesterday, first we'll underline in the textbook. Yesterday, majority of you did not have it, so I made you write it. But you need to remember the language of textbook only. So, what was the first step of statistics? No, first step. Collection, organization and analysis. What was the first step? Collection. What is the name of first chapter? Collection. If you remember yesterday I told you collection will study in first chapter. Organization will study in second and third chapter. And analysis we shall study in rest of all the chapters. Right? So look at page number 2. Last second paragraph. Do you find something in inverted commas, dark letters?
Yes.
That is the definition of statistics. Underline that. Statistics is the science which deals with collection, analysis and interpretation of numerical data. Okay, this is the definition given in your textbook and you use this here in your exams. The next page, do you find 1.2 quantitative data and qualitative data?
Yes.
So certain points are to be underlined in that. Underline the first sentence. Group of all units under study is called population. Do you find that? Then next to next line, third line underline. The total number of units contained in the population is called the size of the population. Okay, like I told you yesterday that the total number of students are 16. So what is the size of population? 16. Next also, if the total number of units of the population is finite, say n, we call it as finite population. Okay? Infinite population means when the number of units are unlimited, infinite. Is it possible that number of units may be unlimited? Bacteria keep on doubling, increasing. That is infinite population. Set of natural numbers, infinite population. Set of real numbers, infinite population. So that is also possible. Is everyone clear with that? Last fourth line of the same paragraph. Underline. Unit selected. Okay, just 1 minute. No, not last fourth line. After finite population, next to next line. After finite population, next to next line, underline. A set or group of units selected from the population on the basis of some definite criterion is called sample, and the number of units in the sample is termed as sample size. Yesterday I discussed sample also with you, but I told you in detail you'll study about that in 7th chapter. See the first page of your textbook. What is the name of 7th chapter? What is the name? Sampling. There you will study in detail about the sampling. So nothing else we have studied about sample in this chapter, just the meaning of sample. In detail about that you will study in chapter 7. Then last sentence of the paragraph. The set of all the observations obtained by such inspection is called data. Okay. Next to next paragraph, underline the first sentence. If the variable characteristic is non-numeric, then it is called qualitative. And non-numeric means how do you represent it? Attributes. And next sentence also, it mentions that we shall call such qualitative characteristic as an attribute. Okay. Then next sentence also underline, the collection of observations on the attribute is called qualitative data. Next sentence also, if the variable characteristic is numerical, then it is called numeric variable, and the collection of observations on numeric variable is called quantitative data. Any confusion so far? Raise your hand. All are able to follow? This is all we have done yesterday, right? Now do you find below that primary and secondary data? So first, primary data's meaning. Underline the first sentence. The data originally, do you find that? Below primary data? And the data originally collected by any authorized institution or agency or investigators for the first time are called primary data. Okay, then next page, secondary data. First sentence, when an investigator or agency uses the data already collected by any other agency or investigator, then such data becomes secondary data for the users. Any confusion in that? What is the next topic? Difference between primary and secondary data, right? Now, what is the difference between primary and secondary? Understand it first, then we'll see from the textbook. So, close your textbooks. See, our purpose of doing the things in the class is that you learn the things in the class itself. Means after going home, much efforts are not required on your side. Okay? So, difference between, you don't have to write it, just be attentive. Primary data and secondary data. How will you remember the difference? Very easy. Remember the difference as differ. Difference. So remember it as differ. Once again, difference. So remember it as
differ.
Okay. How many points of differences?
5.
D stands for data. I stands for inquiry. Form, expense and energy, reliability. Once again, D stands for
Data.
I stands for
Inquiry.
F stands for
Form.
E stands for
Energy.
R stands for I'll be asking you back. You'll be able to remember this? Okay, so differ. Difference, differ. Data, inquiry, form, expense and energy, and reliability. Okay. Now data. Primary data is the original data you collected for the first time. And can I say secondary data is the used data? Someone else has collected, it's not original, you are just using it. So first difference, data. Primary is original data collected for the first time. Secondary data is used data. It's already collected by someone else and you are just using it. See, two things will be done in the class. One is understanding. You'll be able to understand the things, and second is learning by heart. So we will understand the things also here and we will also learn by heart. Is everyone clear with that? What is the second? What do you do in primary data? You make the inquiry directly from the respondents, that is from the units. So inquiry is done directly from, we call them as units. Okay, each and every respondent is called as unit or field of inquiry. You directly inquire from the units under survey. Secondary data you inquire from primary data. Secondary data is directly taken from
Primary data.
Is everyone clear with that? So in primary data inquiry is done from units directly from the respondents, and in secondary data inquiry is done from primary data. Any confusion in that? Form, it is raw. What do you mean by raw? Haphazard. If you remember yesterday when I collected the information, was it haphazard or not?
Yes.
First was 51%, last was some 80s. Haphazard order. Then we had put it in proper order. That is called classified and tabulated. Here, because you collected for the
First time.
it is haphazard. We call it as raw.
Wrong.
As in what you collect, you write it. Suppose I try to inquire the marks. Suppose I try to inquire all of your marks. Let's stand. 52. 72. 52. 72. 63. This is what?
Wrong.
As in what I collected, I write it down. Haphazard. Now, how will I classify it? First I write 72. Then I write 63. Then I'll write. What is that? That is classified and proper order. Okay, so primary data is always
Wrong.
because you collect it for the
First time.
secondary data. After you collect it, you properly organize it. So that is classified and. Now this you can answer it to me. Which will require more energy and expense, and which one will require less?
Primary.
Primary data. Because you have collected on your own. Time will also be consumed. You require more time. You require more money. You require more energy. This is like copying in exams. You don't at all require any energy for that. Just you require some skills of copying so that others cannot find out. So this requires less time, money, energy. Any confusion so far? And last is
Reliability.
preparing on your own in exams is reliable or depending on others?
Reliability.
No, which one? Preparing on your own is reliable or depending on others? Depending on your own. Some may be wondering, depending on others is reliable. But normally, if you collect the data on your own, it is going to be more reliable. Someone else who has collected the data may not be reliable and relevant for you because he would have collected the data as per his objective. Suppose I collect the data. My objective is I want to know poor students of class so that I can put more efforts on them. So I collect the data and I collect it of which students? Poor. Abhishek sir wants the data, but he wants the data of genius students who can go for some competition in economics. Can he use my data? No. So that data will not be relevant for him because my purpose was different and his purpose is different. So primary data is always more reliable. This is less reliable and also less relevant because you both may not have the same purpose or objective. Any confusion in this? Once again, data. Primary is original. Secondary is used. Second I stands for inquiry. Primary, directly you make it from the units. And secondary, from the primary data you collect the information. F, form, raw, haphazard, you collect it for the first time. And secondary is classified data, means it's properly recorded, it's properly systematically organized. Okay? Energy and expense. Primary data requires more time, money and energy. Secondary data collection requires less time, money and energy. And primary data is more reliable, secondary is less reliable. Anyone having any doubt in this? Shall I ask you again? Sure? Pink and black. What is the name? Fatima. What are the points of difference?
Data.
D stands for data.
I stands for inquiry.
I stands for inquiry.
F stands for form.
F stands for form. E, differ. E. Okay, R. Reliability. And what does E stand for? Expense and energy. What does E stand for? Expense and energy. And R stands for reliability. Data. Difference. Primary data is original. And secondary is used. So, then, what is your name? No, big guy. Mohit. Second difference, inquiry.
From units
Directly from the units.
and from the primary.
And you collect it from the primary data. Then, Niyati. E, no, DIF. Form.
Primary data is raw
Primary is raw.
and secondary data is classified and tabular.
Secondary is classified and tabulated. What is your name?
Darshan.
Darshan. E. Expense and energy.
Primary data needs more time, money, and energy.
More time, money and energy.
Secondary data requires less time, money, and
Less time, money and energy. Correct. And what is your name?
Krupa.
Krupa. Krupa, I mean?
Chauhan.
Chauhan. Okay. E stands for, R stands for
Reliability.
reliability.
Primary data needs more reliability and secondary data needs less reliability.
Wrong. You cannot say primary data needs more reliability. Primary data is more reliable. And secondary data compared to primary is less reliable. Okay, words will make difference. They'll change the meaning. Okay, correct. So now, is everyone clear with that? You don't need textbooks? So page 4, can you see difference between primary and secondary data? Do you want me to read it and explain or just underline it? Just underline it. You all are clear, right? In bracket write differ so that you remember that. What is the short form you remember? Differ. That we will see for other answers also tomorrow. All the subjective answers we'll see in that manner. Okay? In the first point, left side write down D. Underline data and underline original and underline reused by others. Do you get these words or not? All of you? Second point on the left side, write down I, underline I, write down I as well as inquiry. Then underline units and underline primary data. Next point, write down F, underline form, underline raw, and underline classified and tabulated. Next point, write down E, expense and energy. Just underline large amount and underline less amount. Here you require large amount of expense and energy, and in secondary you require less. And last point, write down R, reliable, and underline primary data are almost reliable. And next sentence, may not be reliable or relevant. Even relevant, you understand? As I gave the example, I collected the data of weak students, and Abhishek sir want the data of genius, so it will not be relevant for his purpose. So secondary data may not be reliable and even relevant if you directly take it from the primary data. Anyone who is not clear with any of the points done today? I shall ask you in the beginning tomorrow all these points. You'll be able to answer?
yes.
Plus I'll ask you the meaning of direct inquiry, indirect inquiry, questionnaire. Okay? So that'll be all for today. Bye everyone.